This is Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network. I'm your host, Mark. And today's guest makes me look under the bed before I go to sleep. Welcome Belinda Kordic of Crippled Black Phoenix and the new project, Johnny the Boy. Belinda didn't come from a musical family or start playing music at a crazy young age. But without any real experience, she joined her first band in her early 20s and just ripped into doing necro vocals. She admits to doing them completely wrong, but it works for her and hasn't damaged anything. So after leaving her first band, Stab, with two Bs, which actually is a very unusual acronym, she started a solo project called Killing Mood. It was a complete 180 in sound. But when it found its way into the hands of Justin Greaves of Crippled Black Phoenix, it was exactly what he was looking for. Justin also joins us in this conversation, and I'm so glad he did. It's really fun to get multiple perspectives on their work together. And that includes their new project, Johnny the Boy. They revealed the origins of not just the band, but how the name was decided. We go pretty deep into Belinda's entire career, but we also peer into the future. Belinda and Justin gave us all a sneak peek into some projects they've been working on for the 20th anniversary of Crippled Black Phoenix, including some unusual covers. And good news, there are plans for live shows from both CBP and Johnny the Boy. So follow them at CBP_444 and at Johnny the Boy for updated info. Buy the albums on Bandcamp or through Season of Mist Records. Follow us at Performance ANX on socials. Send us coffee at ko-fi.com/performanceanxiety or send yourself merch at performanceanx.threadless.com. And keep an eye out for projects combining everyone in this episode. Now get yourself ready for a scream with Belinda Kordic of Johnny the Boy and Crippled Black Phoenix on Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcast Network.
What's it called now again?
Performance Anxiety.
Performance Anxiety, right there.
You know, it's just that.
I know. Okay, we'll try this. Shall I go whenever? Hi, this is Belinda from Crippled Black Phoenix and Johnny the Boy, and you are listening to the super cool podcast Performance Anxiety. Toodle.
Toodle.
Oh, I didn't say Kordic, did I? Should I say Kordic or what? Or should you say what? Okay.
Belinda Kordic, yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Belinda Kordic from Johnny the Boy and Crippled Black Phoenix, and you are listening to super cool podcast Performance Anxiety.
Your hair is okay.
What's that?
Very, very good. I see what you did. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, all good.
Awesome. So thank you guys for doing this. This is going to be awesome. And Justin can speak firsthand of this because it's been 2 years ago we did one.
Was it that long ago? Was it really?
It's been a while. Man, I don't remember the date. I'd have to look it up, but it's not that important. We did one a while back.
No, it was a while back. Yes, and it was great. I love doing that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And it was at that time that he's like, we should get Belinda on. And I'm like, absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad we finally were able to make it work.
Yeah, it took a minute, but she's here.
Hey, it's good things are worth the wait.
I'm just sort of hanging about, so it's you two have a good old chin wag.
Chin
wag.
Oh, chin wag. What?
Oh, man. So this is going to be more of a Belinda-centric episode, but Justin, feel free to chime in whenever you like, because especially once we get into how you guys met and all the bands you guys have done together. So,
Yeah, all good.
Feel free. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So the first thing that I wanted to really ask you about, and I like this to be more conversational than an interview where I'm peppering you with questions. But I do have a question, because in every bio that I've seen about you, it says you're a Swede from Australia.
Yes, true.
How does that work? Can you explain that to me?
Well, I'm really a Croatian by blood, born in Australia, but moved to Sweden when I was 6.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that makes more sense. That makes a little more sense because I did hear an interview and you talking about being from Australia, and then I saw this bio saying you're Swedish, but you're from Australia. So I was getting all kinds of confused. So
yeah, well, I feel Swedish. I'm Swede.
All right, that's clear. Kind of clears it up for me, I think. Enough for me to be happy. So
yeah, good.
So, did you grow up with a lot of music around? And what really affected you musically? What really got you into music and
I think
singing?
Well, I was really late in singing. Well, Mum had all these vinyls, of course. Single mom, she was really cool. She was a hippie once upon a time, but it was, it was Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, and all that kind of thing. And then, it just started there, and then mixtapes at school and here and there. And it just, like most other kids, I took off from there. But I didn't play in a band until I was 23.
Oh, wow.
I didn't start. I didn't pick up an instrument until then either. So that's when I played in Stab, a grunge band, with similar kind of vocals I do on Johnny the Boy, but maybe more Marge Simpson column. But that was my first way of singing, so that's how it started.
So that's got some of the extreme vocals, the necro type of vocals to it, but I mean it's also got some cleaner vocals. What got you into the necro style of vocals? What were you listening to? What was there a band that really made it click?
No, I've never, when it's about vocals, influences, sorry if I got this. When it's about music and vocals, I'm never influenced by music or vocals.
Okay.
It's maybe funny. I just open my mouth and do remember it was like, it was grunge and it was really loud. And I think it's just what came natural. Because I hadn't sung before, so that's what came. And I think also because it was really loud. So, I mean, in Stab, I did actually sing with normal voice a little bit in between too, but that was my comfort, that one. So that's just what came out. And also, it doesn't ruin my voice, funnily enough. I don't get hoarse. I don't get anything. Thank fuck.
I was going to ask you about that because that, to me, if I try it, I'll try it in the car driving when I'm listening to, and nope, that's not gonna. I just start coughing and hacking. I almost drive off the road, and it's a horror show. I don't know how the hell. First of all, how did you discover you could do that? And then, what are you doing that it's not hurting your vocals?
In the rehearsal room, that's why. I mean, it's like I said before, lots of pent up shit. I guess that's why. That's loads of pent up shit comes out that way, and I don't know. I do it the wrong way because when I do that kind of singing, I'm not doing it correctly. Obviously, I'm not singing with my what you call your tummy or however you're supposed to sing.
Diaphragm.
Yeah, I don't do it correctly. It's like, what's this called? Thing that's hanging there in your throat.
Oh, yeah. What is
that thing? The dangly thing at the back of your gut.
Uvula? Is it the uvula?
The tonsil, I think.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I mean, if I haven't sung for a while, like when we recorded Johnny, the first 5 minutes, it was like tickle a little bit, but then I got into it. That was fine, But we played live with Stab, and I never got hoarse or anything. The thing is, when I sing like that, it's actually in level lower than a normal singing voice. You wouldn't think so, would you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I remember when we were playing with Stab, we played with Dead Moon in Berlin and that. And we did a few gigs. There's always a problem for getting my voice up,
Okay.
I had to compete. And it's the same kind of, it's same as an electric guitar, isn't it?
Right, yeah. That's true.
So it is low. It's what I do is I kind of whisper. I use a few voices at the same time. That's the thing, and one of them is a whispery one. So isn't that right?
Yeah.
If you take the last song I've done, if you really listen to without Johnny Boy, but without you,
yes,
you hear two voices kind of singing the same time. Maybe that's a little bit kind of throat singing.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah.
Throat singing thingy.
I think that's the technical term.
So, yeah, we're all about technical.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Before you skip over this ad, give me 1 minute. Like most podcasts, I pick sponsors carefully and I use the products that advertise here. Pure Spectrum CBD is a product that has been really beneficial for me. They have a wide variety of great products that can be used on a daily or as needed basis. I've been using the tincture every day and it's been wonderful for easing anxiety. And I absolutely love the isolate. I use it instead of acetaminophen or ibuprofen, and it's worked so well for the relief of aches and pains. They also have soaks, lotions, salves, gummies, and more, plus an entire line for fitness recovery. They even have products for your pets. See everything they offer at purespectrumcbd.com. And if you have questions, they're there to help. They helped me when I had no idea where to start. After you fill your cart, use code PERFORMANCEANX for 15% off your purchase. Pure Spectrum CBD, Pure Spectrum CBD, Pure Spectrum CBD. How did you end up in Stab in the first place if you weren't really singing or playing instruments?
Oh, but I always wanted to do a heavy band. And then a friend of mine, I've been in Australia for a couple of years. I came home and then I lived with my sister's friend as a flatmate, and he had a brother that played instruments, Ted, who I formed Stab with. And then we just started the band, you know.
Does it actually stand for Stronger Than Aunt Bertha's Breath?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I was on a lot of pop and things those days, and it was, I don't know why I chose that name. I mean, Jesus Christ. And then we just did Stab, and we were signed on Music for Nations for a few months, and we made a little bit of a buzz, but that's about it. And then we quit.
I liked what I heard. I mean, Vicious, Vicious, Vicious. Your vocals in that are amazing.
Vicious, 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 real. Dwelling, 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 dwelling. Keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on,
But the title track, As It May Be, that is an incredible song. I love that song.
as it may be, there are publicities from the world at 100 degrees. What neglect, so profound, bored my news keeps spinning around. I'll be damned, the pace is fast, all the ships that burn are in the last. To take it slow, for the words that draw me on. The misery, no longer do I resist. The misery.
Oh, I don't know which one that is. Is it I be there? That one.
It's the one that starts a little bass heavy in the beginning.
Oh yeah, As It May Be.
Yeah. I love it. I wanted to hear a song so badly because it just sounded like it was in a compilation.
On a compilation, the best recordings are on compilation actually, because the album we did with Music for Nations, it was too dry and we weren't happy with that, but we got a couple of songs on some movie compilations and they are actually the best ones.
Yeah, it's called Molten something or other. Yes.
Molten Universe.
And it just pulled up, as you said, a Molten Universe Volume 2. So
Let's see.
that just sounds like a really cool. I mean, there's some awesome bands. Dozer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pawn Shop, Sunride, Demon Cleaner, Damn Dodge. Dude. Anybody who names themselves after a Caius song is just, that's okay by me. But you did a song called Night Load, and
Night Load.
I've got all these visions in my head about the band Stab doing a song called Night Load, and I can't find it anywhere.
I know where it is. Nowhere to be found.
I have to buy the compilation, and it's $15 on Discogs.
Oh my! If you want, I can gift you because we did what do you call it, 10-inch.
Yeah.
I got 10-inch, and I think I got whatever. You can have it if you want.
Oh
for
my!
Fun.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, these 10-inch vinyl you won't find anywhere.
Oh my!
Is it 10?
Yeah, 10-inch.
I can't remember what songs, but anyway, yeah, I've got like a bunch like that.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, so back to the show here. Now with Stab, were you writing the vocals? Were you writing the music too, or?
I wrote all the vocals, and Ted wrote all the music. But then I started playing guitar, and then I started writing some too. So I can't remember which songs I wrote, but
I'm sure I can pull it up on Discogs.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You were writing early on, then, from the beginning of your actual musical career.
Yeah, because I'm if I'm gonna sing, I have to write. I can't,
Well, that makes sense.
I just can't do it any other way.
It's really difficult to take someone else's lyrics.
I can't, no.
Especially if it's not already a song that's out there. Like the covers that Crippled Black Phoenix does are amazing, but that's a little different.
Yeah. But I can't, let's say, if Ted come and said his lyrics, no, thank you. It has to come from me. A bit. So
what precipitated the end of Stab and the beginning of Killing Mood?
Killing who?
I like Killing Mood.
Oh my God, another name, I don't know why. Anyway, no, we were just tired of it, I think it was just time to end it,
There was a bit of a gap between the two. Were you still doing any music at that time, or did you just put it aside?
No, did nothing, and then I was like, I'll just do my own thing. And I did. Then I did Killing Mood, and I put that together, and then, yeah.
I really enjoyed Killing Mood, and I know Justin did.
Yeah, that's how he found me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
So did you ever play live as Killing Mood, or was that just a studio practice?
No, just did once.
Oh, yeah? Somewhere.
Because I even then it was, it's just now, like 20 years later, that I'm getting comfortable on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Crippled 5 years ago, I didn't move. And now I'm like over the place. I know. At my age, now I'm loosening up,
We played two shows as Say Deland. We did this other thing. Yeah. And that's, I mean, I've seen a huge difference in Belinda.
Yeah.
And she was great in the first place, but she has really come out of her shell recently. More recent.
Coming out of my shell at 51.
Yeah. But anyway, the Say Deland shows were definitely before that. And, I personally, I don't even think about it or anything.
Even Crippled, I stood still.
But but before, it was like before with the end of the song or before the end of the set, she'd be gone.
Oh, wow.
She was just like, she'd sing her words and she's off stage.
Yeah, I hated it. Just, that was. Oh, it feels.
My part's done. I'm out. See you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You still do that a bit sometimes.
Yeah, I run off as soon as I can. Yeah. But it's getting better. I don't need to, and it's more, and because with Crippled, the gang, it's more fun gang now. Got Joel, who he moves around, so, it's better, feels loads better.
Better vibes.
Yeah, but, never too late to blossom, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, I liked Killing Mood a lot.
Oh,
I found it on. I couldn't find it on YouTube, but I did find it on Spotify. And it's weird because I every account I have on everything is free because I'm broke constantly. So I have to pay attention when I'm listening to it because it'll suddenly change to a completely different artist, and I have to wait. So,
all right, yeah.
But I'm trying to pull it up right now because I neglected to write down any of the songs here. But I did enjoy the album. I got a chance to listen to almost all of it, I think, before it decided to start playing other people. So it was Devil's Robe was one of my favorites. That's what it was. Devil's Robe.
Nice.
Away waking from sleep. Another old soul drops beat, afraid to leave. Old past communion, afraid to seize the day, afraid to go this way.
Love Burns. I mean, these are great tracks, and it was very different from Stab.
Yes.
So was that something that you were consciously doing? Just, I want to do this something completely different.
Yeah, because I wanted it was more with the music, because I thought more of the music, and I wanted a banjo here, and I wanted that still to be piano, and I wanted so because I compose the songs, so that was and it's just something I felt like doing, and of course with help with others. I mean, I couldn't play the piano then, so they just took it from guitar over to piano and all the other guys. But yeah, I composed it myself, so that I got that out of the way.
It's got a really cool, at points, Americana, almost Western vibe on some songs. It's great.
Oh, thanks.
It reminds me a bit of some of the bands that I love, like 16 Horsepower, Woven Hand. Right. So it really fits in that wheelhouse, which I love, that type of alt country doom folk kind of stuff. So
yeah, I did too.
And that's what, as we mentioned earlier, introduced you to Justin. So Justin, how did you find Killing Mood?
How did you find? Don't mention his name.
I was given a promo of it. I was working at Plastic Head, the record company.
Okay.
So I used to get hundreds and hundreds of promos handed to me all the time, and pretty much hated nearly all of them. But Killing Mood thing came along, and it was just because I'd already been sort of cutting my teeth a little bit, like you said, on 16 Horsepower and stuff. And right. Really, I love that stuff as well. So when I heard the Killing Mood album, it was like, this is really, really nice. And then, of course, Belinda's voice, is like, I mean, it's just great anyway, but it was different as well. It's one of those voices that stays with you.
Yeah, it really is. And how did you decide that you wanted to start working with her? Because she first shows up with some, I believe, backing vocals on Mankind the Crafty Ape, the Crippled Black Phoenix album. Was that around the same time as Killing Mood? I'm trying to remember my dates here.
Yeah, it was after. I think Killing Mood was 2009. You packed that in, something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I wanted a break. I was sick of the music.
I mean, the Killing Mood album was way before that. It was early 2000s, I think.
But wasn't What Have We Got to Lose the first thing?
No, it's got the stuff. Right. No, it was. So we'd had little bits of female backing vocals on the CBP albums before, and it's something I always wanted to do and liked doing, but never had the right voice, if you see what I mean. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the early CBP albums, there's a lot of that going on. It was like the right idea, but not done properly because it didn't have the right instruments and tools and production and everything.
That's so amazing that you say that, because I love those albums, and for you like that, they're not the right people. I'm like, wow.
I'm not taking anything away from anyone. It's not like they weren't the right people. There was, what it was is, I don't feel as the kind of, I didn't feel like I executed them to what I would like to have done.
Okay, I can understand.
But it's nice that other people like it, of course. But anyway.
But you always backtrack, don't you, when you do something? Should have, could have.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I do stand by everything I've done. You know what I mean? I wouldn't change anything for the world. I'd re-record them, but I wouldn't change the existing ones. Anyway, going. But so when Crafty Ape come along and we were going to Chapel Studios and we had the ability, we had the money, we had the production value and all that, I wanted to do the right kind of female voice on it. So that's when I asked a mutual friend to see, like, get in contact with Belinda, and I just asked, I said, would you consider coming doing a little bit of vocals on the album? And she just said, yeah, to my surprise. So that was it. And then, of course, we instantly hit it off, had loads in common, and there you go. And that was the beginning of it.
It took him a lot of convincing to get me up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you? Because doing merch, and he was like, come up. But that took a really long time.
Yeah. I mean, I always regard Belinda as being in CBP from Crafty Ape.
Okay.
Because she came along and she was part of the family. But at first she did some album bits and started doing more and more, but she never wanted to get on stage.
Okay.
Then she was living in the UK for a while, and then there was a tour, and it's like, come on the tour, and she said, so you come on the tour, but only if she's doing something.
Yeah, I don't want to freeload.
She didn't want to freeload. She wanted to be. So it's like, okay, come and sell the merch. And then eventually there was, well, you're selling the merch. Just jump on stage, do this one song. Oh, okay, we'll do that. And then
2, 3, 4.
And then it snowballs.
Yeah. And it's funny because I could definitely see the progression as I go through the discography and listening to the albums and seeing the credits. You know, I think on Crafty Ape, you're on a couple of songs, and then each album, you're going from the background vocals to a couple songs where you're lead, and then all the way up to Banefire, where it's mostly you, which I think it's. And I was going to say this a little later on in the podcast, but what I think, I'll say it now. I really like the way that you're progressing and that you're taking, I think, Crippled Black Phoenix into areas that I never would have thought of when I started listening to the band back in the I Vigilante era. So I think it's you've had an incredible influence on the band, and you're helping the band to progress in unexpected ways, and I love it.
Yeah, you see.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. So obviously it went well. You know, your first appearance with the band, because we're talking to you now, 10, 12 years later. But you guys also started a project on your own to like you mentioned, Stay Alon.
Yeah.
How did that come about? What was it in between CBP albums, and you wanted to just work together some more, or was there anything more than that, or was it something else?
What was it? I can't remember. We just wanted to go a little bit somewhere.
I think we wanted to do more than what we were allowing ourselves to do with CBP, because the CBP thing, I mean, it was a different, it hadn't developed into what it is now.
Right.
So if CBP was like it is now back then, we wouldn't have felt the need to do Say the Land, I don't think, because we kind of channel it all into CBP now.
Right. And I think this, the Land, especially the second one, is a little bit more gothic.
Yeah.
And that, then after that album kind of seeped in a little bit to Crippled Black Phoenix. A little bit of the gothiness, if you see what I mean. If you can see the change there a little bit.
Absolutely.
See, that's where Belinda and myself, that's where we kind of, the sort of the instant realization was that's where we met, was goth and the grunge and so that kind of music. That's where we met. That's where we kind of came together.
Kind of intersected, yeah.
So that Say the Land was like, let's make music that makes sense. That's our commonality.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But doing the Say the Land taught me to. She was always telling me to write shorter songs, and I can't write short songs.
It's not. I'm like, no, that is too long. It sounds too much like Crippled. Focus, It's not easy, but he's a genius. He can write bloody anything. But so it was a little bit of a struggle, but to keep them apart, but. You did fine.
Yeah, no, it's because of Belinda. She kind of kicked me up the ass, so the two didn't merge too much, and it was good. It was really a healthy thing to do. I love the Seidelan albums. Like, I really, really, really like them. But I love how that Seidelan influence is now in CBP, because now I think it really is perfect. perfect mix.
It's
because now everything feels a lot more natural.
Like you said, I do definitely hear more of a Ceylon infusion, maybe in Crippled Black Phoenix. And so you mentioned that you guys only played with a Ceylon live a couple of times. Was that
2 times?
Was that with the first album, or after the second album, or in between?
Only the first one.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So
yeah, I mean, because it was only the 2 of us, we had to put a band together for that, and it was really good. It was really nice people, like good friends and everything that we did it with.
Yeah.
But we weren't ever a band, so the live thing was never really going to work for us. And we kind of dipped our toe in, and it was like, really, it didn't feel quite right. I don't think, not for me anyway. It was the albums are great. The albums were great, and I'm sure if we'd let the live band develop, then the live would be great as well.
But that Ceylon really feels like, if anything, like anyone who asks about John the Boy, we say it's not a side project, But Ceylon always felt a little bit like a side project.
Yeah.
But I think it did. But it's so fun. I mean, there's so much great music out there that I'd love to sing opera. I'd love to do a really dark country album. There's so much. Why just stick to one? You don't have to stick to one thing.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I liked about Ceylon was that both albums, while it's obvious that it's you guys, they're totally different from each other.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The first one was a lot more like sort of folky, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, there was a little bit of alt country in there or whatever. It was more acoustic. And then the second one was like, it was just
coffee.
Definitely more
like total. It was a goth pop album. That
it was Bluebird. I love Bluebird.
Oh, Bluebird, yes.
I'd love to play a couple of Ceylon songs in the CBP set, especially Bluebird. Actually, Bluebird, I would love to play live.
I think that is my favorite track from either album. I love that song.
I think it's mine too.
I think I'm with you on that as well. I like Shadow as well, which is a real a lot more grungy. But
I like
Bluebird's the one. Yeah, that was definitely the song on that album. Definitely.
All right, then it's settled. Bluebird in the next CBP set list.
So, it's a deal.
All right.
Yes.
Well, as your influence, your presence in CBP grows, the songs get more and more amazing. And I remember the first song that I heard that really just blew me away, and I had to listen to it over and over and over again, was when I was preparing for Justin's show, because to be fair, I hadn't listened to Crippled Black Phoenix in a little while before having Justin on. So I went back and I started listening again, and Lost just completely grabbed my brain and just stayed in there. And I had to listen to it over and over. Honest to God, the first day that I started researching and I heard the song, I must have listened to it 10 times.
Wow.
Just going back over, and because it just got stuck in my head. I'm like, this song is incredible. And instead of going in and researching more and listening to other Crippled Black Phoenix songs, I'm like, all right, going back to that one.
long as you didn't watch the video 9 times, that would have destroyed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was at work and I had to keep the video part off. So,
Yeah.
but I did see it. So, it's actually a very moving video. So I'm glad I didn't watch it 10 times. Otherwise, I probably would have gone into a very deep depression.
Yes.
But that album, I don't know. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Ellengeist. Ellengeist. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's really where I see Belinda coming into her own in the band. And I believe that one, it's Belinda as the constant and then a lot of guest vocals, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple tracks there that are absolute standouts to me, and Lost is definitely my top on that. But the Vic Chestnut song you guys do, Everything I Say. Oh, my God.
Oh,
that
I
is
love Vic.
But the contrast in vocals on In the Night, that...
Oh, with Gus and Gus Weird.
Yes, I wasn't prepared for that because I wasn't familiar with him. And then that came out, I'm like, oh, this is creepy.
Yeah.
I like this.
We like creepy.
I'm glad you picked that.
Yeah, me
Really,
too.
really. That's good.
As we learn how to walk, we have to learn how to let go. Bruised hearts, battered, broken souls.
At this time, are you getting a little more comfortable on stage when CBP goes out live in the Ellengeist era, or are you still kind of like...
Oh, much better now. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, we just played. You mean playing live, or do you mean in the band?
Well, back when you were playing Ellengeist live, were you still pretty uncomfortable on stage? And
Yes, it only loosened up the last tour. That was Ellengeist, was it? Last year.
But that was weird. So before, because we've had lockdown and everything, so we didn't play for a little while.
Right.
So apart from the tour last year, the last time we toured before that was before lockdown. It was 2019, and we were playing Great Escape. We hadn't done Ellengeist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I mean, you're talking about Belinda being comfortable on stage. She was great then, but the big change, I think, came
with you with the first tour.
We did a one-off show in Leipzig, and that's the first time we played any of the new songs, Ellengeist.
No, did we do a tour?
And then we did the tour last year, and it was only the tour last year where she really changed.
Last 5 gigs of that tour. That's when it went. That's when I started, with witches. I was moving and dancing and jumping up and down. I mean, I don't know what happened, but the last 5 gigs, that's when it loosened up.
Yeah.
So when Crippled Black Phoenix went on tour or maybe even tour is a bad choice of words at this point because you just explained about that, but are you the main vocalist live? Because I know, like we said, Ellengeist, there was a bunch of guest vocals, and Great Escape, there's some other vocals as well. Are you the main vocalist at that time?
Oh, but then if we did, for example, Cry of Love, and Joel did Cry of Love instead of Ryan.
Right.
And I just do this part. We always try to, kind of do it a little bit so it's not only, I don't want to be singing all the time, and Joel doesn't want to be singing. I'm either. It's just like if we do all Crippled songs, Joel does the male vocals and
but then it depends on the song actually, because we've played old Crippled Black Phoenix songs.
So long.
Say for instance, Human Nature. There's one called Human Nature Dictates the Downfall of Humans.
Yes,
I did that.
Which was a male singer originally, but Belinda took it over and just made it so much better song. Anyway.
Oh wow!
So then. When we do old songs, it's just who would suit the song first, and then who wants to do it, Belinda or Joel, and then whatever's best for the song and whatever's they're more comfortable.
So we're both lead singers, and maybe at a gig, maybe Joel has 1 or 2 songs more than me, and another one maybe I have 1, 2 more than him.
Yeah.
It depends on what songs. You have to think what album and which ones we played 1,000 times and not. So it's more. but
yeah, like one more thing to consider.
It's not like Joel has 6 lead songs and I have one, or the other way around. But then there's song with 2 of us, so it's like.
And it doesn't matter if it's originally recorded as a male or female vocal. You guys are comfortable switching it up.
Yeah, basically, we're just
awesome.
We do whatever we like.
Yeah.
I love it. I wanted to ask a little bit about the songwriting, and I guess Banefire is the best way to get into that because it's the most recent Crippled Black Phoenix album, and there's so much going on there. I know Justin writes the majority of the music, if not all of the music.
Yeah, he writes something.
Lyrically, are you writing? Have you always written your lyrics for Crippled Black Phoenix? And I know a lot of the albums have themes to them. Are you given the theme that doesn't say, hey, I would like it to be about this? Or are you developing the theme, or is it collaborative? I know I've just given you a ton of options there, but maybe it's a little bit of everything.
Well,
it's a bit different for Belinda.
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer?
So I would imagine it varies, right?
I mean, like, which is
she writes what she sings, she writes,
right,
which is the same for anyone. But in the past, or with other people, I dictate the themes. But I shouldn't really say this out in public. But the thing is,
it's not because we're boyfriend and girlfriends. Because we do think alike. Okay. We are the same page.
I mean, we already spoke about Sadeland, Johnny the Boy as well. We're on the same page, so it makes no sense for me to tell her what to do.
And I said from day one is I write what I want to write about.
Yeah.
I can't do it any other way. And yes, there's been a few what's it called, song titles, but even those I'm like, yeah, Witches and Bust, but then there's a few on there that I came up because it feels right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just belched into my microphone. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't matter.
That was my damn coffee. So the latest album, and the latest album was Banefire to me was such a cool album, and I remember the first time Justin gave me a sneak peek of it, but what was really wild to me was that it was all one track. The first time he sent it to me, the entire time, it was one file, and I'm like, wow, this is intense. And I didn't know any of the song titles, so that's how I'm still struggling with song titles because I'm used to listening to it as a whole. And but I've discovered in going back and listening to it, because a lot of times I'll listen to things while I'm driving or while I'm at work, and I can't sit there and look at what the song title is while I'm working. They kind of crack down on phone usage at work, and you probably shouldn't be doing that while you're driving. So I've discovered the names of the songs that I absolutely fell in love with on Banefire, and it's Bonefire is the first. Everything's Beautiful But Us, but the one that has kind of jumped up, it's in a pitched battle for my favorite CBP song with Lost, is Down the Rabbit Hole. Song, it goes so many places, and your vocals are absolutely just lush and beautiful, and they go so many different ways. It's a fascinating song. Is there a theme going through songs? Do you have a theme in mind when you're writing these songs? And it's just in giving you an idea with the music. Are you hearing the music first to help with the lyrics? Because I can't imagine it's easy to write lyrics for a 10-minute song.
I want to hear the music, because the music is what, of course, brings out what you have in there hidden or what needs to come out. Of course, I listen to the music. I'm the person who, it's happened, but I do want to hear I want to have the music,
It's inspirational for you.
Exactly. I can't write like this really pressing lyrics and put it on happy go lucky. Well, I mean, of course I need to listen to the music, because music, when I write lyrics, it's a lot. I write, I visualize. It's like in a movie. I see movie scenes. It's movies, visualize.
I guess a better way to ask that then is, are you writing lyrics? Are you writing constantly without music? I mean, are you just writing notes down and when you have an idea, or are you waiting for the music to inspire you?
I'm like with books. It can go a long time without, and then I can read 5 books in 2 days. That's how I am with lyrics too. I'm not a person. I think, first of all, because this is going to sound weird, but they say writing is the best way to work with your problems or trauma or depression or whatever.
Right, yeah.
In one way, I'm scared to, because I don't want to open up. I don't want to put, I think I even got, I don't know which song I got that. I don't want to, which song is, I think it's a Delan song. No, it's a Crippled song. I don't want to let the floodgates in. Do you remember that song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's if I write, which is it?
But it's not, it's a little bit like, I'm okay, but just not all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
but it's like, I like neurotic and keeping the windows closed and keeping it all in,
Yeah.
If I write, I'm scared of writing one way because I don't want to open the floodgates.
That makes sense.
I'm not a person who like la-di-da-di-da-da-da. No.
Okay.
I just do it when I want to. And actually, I am a person that I could be there like 2 seconds in recording. I'm like, oh my God, and finish it off. That's me. So
I love that, though. That is awesome. You get the... I tend to work better with deadlines myself, and it's a constant theme on this podcast is that having a deadline makes you more creative.
It does, but for the cost of your nerves and everything. Like
very true.
I'm good at deadlines, but I get it done. But it's super stressful. But I'm never done in time, mostly. Johnny the Boy was pretty good, actually. But yeah.
Well, I want to get into that, so let's do that, because when Justin sent me Banefire, listening to it from front to back, the very last song was a little jarring.
Which one? Oh, No Regrets.
No Regrets. I wasn't prepared for that. Justin said nothing and sent it to me, and I'm like, wow.
Most people, the fuck?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, it's very much not in the vein of Crippled Black Phoenix.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was like, is this the new direction for the band? And then I think I may have asked you about it, and then or maybe it was in the podcast and we talked about World War, and at some point it kind of clicked that, okay, that must be what he was talking about, because I don't know that you had told me the name at that point.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember what way around it was, but yeah.
So how did the idea for Johnny the Boy come out? I mean, was it just a way to play different music?
Well, this is who we were earlier than, and all, we're going way back. It's kind of where we've come from, really. Right,
with like Iron Monkey and...
Yeah.
Or, Metallic Primate, whatever we need to call it right now.
I think we got reminded. It really came out when we had this rehearsal before a tour many yonders ago.
Yeah.
And then we played around. Anyone just picked up an instrument, and I did my old school necro vocals. That's when we were like, okay, we need to do this for real.
And that was when it was World War still at that point, right?
Yeah, we needed a name, some
nihilistic,
and we knew it wouldn't be the forever name, but we needed one for that.
We made a demo.
We made it, yeah. And then it was a bitch to find a band name because everything was taken. Everything. Yeah. You could open a poetry book and go, oh, there, and mix it with that from the encyclopedia, whatever it's called, taken. Everything's taken. Like you said, some dude with 2 followers on Facebook, taken. You check Facebook first if the band name is taken.
Oh, yeah.
And then Johnny the Boy, it doesn't fit really, but everyone's
but that's what I love about it.
Yeah, exactly. We ended up loving it because of that.
A lot of people are passing on it. We've been told they like, what the, in the metal world, Johnny the Boy, no. But then someone's told them something, or I'll give it a shot. Anyone like, wow, so the name has put some people off. But
that's the best way.
Get back to it. Yeah.
It's the best kind of name.
We wanted a name that didn't scream what kind of music it was.
Exactly.
We wanted the opposite of that.
Did you guys take the name from the Mad Max film?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
100%. Yeah, Johnny the Boy, the character. I got asked before about it, and I can't remember why. I wrote it in the list of ideas for the band name, and then I kept looking at it, and I liked it more, and then I mentioned it when we had our kind of bi-weekly kind of we should really talk about the band name kind of conversation. I brought it up in one of them thinking I'm going to be laughed at. And no, like the one that I love the most, Belinda loved the most, like with everything we do.
Right.
And I felt the connection as an Aussie. I'm an Aussie, Mad Max. And it was a movie I watched at a drive-in when I was in Australia when I was 8 or 9.
Wow.
I loved Mad Max, So I felt the connection there. So it just felt right.
The toe cutters.
And then it's just serendipity. It starts to make more sense after we give the band name. We'd call it Johnny the Boy. Everything starts to kind of make sense.
So personnel-wise, how is it different from Crippled Black Phoenix?
Well, it's not really because Johnny the Boy is Matt, who's our live bass player.
Okay.
For TBP.
He's in Johnny.
He's the bass. Well, but then we are planning to play live, you see. So. And
you're doing drums and guitar on the recording, right, Justin?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So when you
I'd like to chops, but it's like pretty basic by now. Getting out. Yeah, I have to say it was supposed to be basic. Anyway, carry on.
So. When you've mentioned that you're going to be hoping to play this live, are you going to be behind the drums or behind the guitar?
Probably guitar.
Okay.
I know that
maybe need a young guy behind the drums.
Yeah. I mean,
younger.
I think, I hate to admit it because I am a drummer first.
Yeah.
It's the thing I really love the most, but I have to admit my limitations now.
I want you on guitar because he's the composer and it's you in those riffs, so I'd rather have him on.
And she can be next to you on stage. It's a little easier to be next to the guitar player than the drummer.
Kicking me up the ass and then giving me the... You know what she does? She walks up to me, like, especially when she has a tambourine in CVP. And she's doing like this. And she goes in my ear. She's just like...
It's a cowbell.
Yeah, she's like... Yeah.
Farrell,
like Will Ferrell. When it's like this... She does that to me. But anyway, no. I think we'd feel more comfortable if I'm playing guitar.
Yeah.
Is it easier to write Johnny the Boy songs than Crippled Black Phoenix songs because they sound a little more straightforward, less instrumentation and arrangements? There aren't pianos in it. There's no brass. There isn't a big chorus.
No, I don't know.
Maybe a little bit harder, actually.
I think it might be the other way a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Because of that reason, because it's more exposed. It's more simple.
Okay.
So it's like, I think, just because I don't want it to get, I want it to be a bit of Neanderthal. I want it to be, riffs that feel like you're going to battle or something,
Yeah. Oh, I get. Yeah. I mean, well, that comes through for sure.
Yeah. But I hadn't done it for so long, you know. I mean, it comes, I'd say it all comes fairly naturally, but I definitely have to think more doing Johnny the Boy. With Crippled things, I don't think about it. I just do it.
Oh, wow.
Johnny the Boy, I have to think a bit more, you know, because it's keeping in.
Well, because I'm in your ear, like, in your ear, like, don't sound too much like Crippled.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be a crossover with anything we do. There's gonna be the crossover.
Like Without You is a little bit Crippled, but the vocals are different. So
right, and your vocals, like you mentioned before, to me, there's like 3 different styles of Belinda vocals, which I love. There's the clean, like you do on Lost and a lot of Crippled Black Phoenix stuff. There's the necro stuff, like He Moves, which that's one of my favorites on that album. Then Witchy, well, I'm going to call it Witchy, Without You.
Yeah.
And which is somewhere in between the clean and the necro. And that I think that's the one that scares me the most, just because it sounds like I'm watching a horror movie or something.
Yeah. Oh, great. Mission accomplished.
That's the one that gets me the most, is the witchy styles.
Yeah.
But He Moves, I love the sludginess of that song. That's one of my top, that and Without You are my 2 favorites on the album. But when I first saw it and I saw the track listing, there was the very first song. I actually kind of chuckled a little bit, because Die Already. Sounds like the worst New York serial killer ever. Like, he just cannot kill someone. Like, die already. I'm picturing it in a New York accent, like, freaking die already.
Freaking die already. Yeah, that's why I'm telling these dictators to really go, just fucking die and live alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, those long. Yeah.
So the album is just awesome. Are you guys planning on taking this on the road as Johnny the Boy? Or, I mean, would this be something that you guys could do, like Johnny the Boy opening for Crippled Black Phoenix and get paid twice?
I wouldn't want to pull double duty.
We need a support band for some other little bigger band. It will be much easier, I think, obviously to get on the road. 5 people. Easy to put us in, like, we're not purely metal, but, it's easier for us, I think. It will be easier to get out. We just need a booking agent.
I think the whole thing about this doing Johnny the Boy is it's more enjoyable. I think it's a lot easier to do it, right. Like logistically, because CBP can be a bit of a nightmare with all that. Yeah. The expensiveness of it all and the logistics is a nightmare.
Yeah, with so now we've got
people. Boy, so I mean, why, of course we're going to go and do it for the right reasons, enjoy it. Like, let's reconnect with with Belinda with Stab, and with Iron Monkey or whatever. Like, let's reconnect with that when we used to do it because we just enjoyed doing it. And we wanted to get all this energy out.
Yeah.
You know, we're in our 50s, but so what? You know, it's like we've still got the same energy. We're still 20 in our head.
I know. I just turned 50 a couple of weeks ago, so I'm right there with you.
Oh,
Join the club.
Yeah.
We're doing this kind of music, first album, 51. I mean, why not? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I think it's awesome.
We're 51 and we can still do it. You can still drum. I can do my neck roll pretty good. So,
yeah.
I think, you know, I just got to say, you know, that it's amazing what she did on the Johnny the Boy album. You know, she says the neck roll pretty good. I think she tears shreds off most extreme metal vocalists, not just women. I'm talking about everybody. So just a tiny little story. We're going to do a new version of one of my old band songs.
Oh, cool.
And I would never consider doing, right? Because that's the sort of place I would never go back to,
right? Out
of respect. You leave it alone. But now I'm going to, because Belinda is the only person that's come along with that natural venom and that spitefulness. But now we can do it justice. So now we can do it. But I wouldn't do it with anyone else. Definitely not. I would smoke up her ass. That's genuine, 100%. That's how I feel.
That's incredible. Oh, I'm dying to hear that now.
Yeah, me too. I'm just choosing the song now.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did something just amazing for me, and I wanted to thank you while I have you both on. Spinal Tap cover.
I love Spinal Tap.
Well, it should see the light of day before too long. So, So here's what happened. And you guys were one of the first to give me this song. So when I hadn't heard from Justin in a while, I thought maybe you were mad at me because it hadn't come out yet. So
no, I'm just a bit shit at communication.
So you guys posted the video of the toilet, and I thought that was hilarious. I loved it. And you sent it to me, and I had to wait for everybody else. I think you guys were like the second or third band to submit the song. And so I had to wait for like 9 or 10 more tracks, because there's 11 tracks on the soundtrack. I have 12 because they do one extra song in the movie that's not on the soundtrack, and somebody decided they wanted to do that. So then when I got everything, then I reached out to Teen Cancer America, because that's who all the money's going to go to. And and they wanted to do a couple of tracks. They've got artists that they work with, because I had a meeting with them, and they're like, well, if we can contribute something, that would be great. So they've got this thing called the Play It Back Players, and it's teens and young adults who have been affected by cancer. And they help them. Yeah, they help them produce and release their own music. So they have a whole musical director who that's all he does. And his name's Kenley, and he's just amazing. And they also work with a lot of artists to help promote, obviously. And so we discussed 2 songs, and The Majesty of Rock is going to be done by teens and young adults who have been affected by cancer. And it's going to be kind of like apparently, from what I just got the email yesterday, a medieval folk meets We Are the World kind of vocals. So that I should have that in a matter of days. I reached out to Spinal Tap to let them know that this is coming coming down the pike, because I didn't want any legal issues. And their management reached out to me and said, all right, we need to talk. So I had a meeting with them. They're 100% sold on this thing. Once I get The Majesty of Rock, they're going to go ahead and send it to the 3 guys in the band and let them listen to it, and then see what their level of involvement is going to be. So it could be as little as allowing me to use their logo. It could be as big as they're writing a sequel. It could be as much as they actually work something from the Teen Cancer America thing, like into the movie. So it could run the gamut. So who knows? But
I have a feeling, because it's for this great cause, I think these guys are gonna step up. I think so.
I hope so. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for donating a track, and I know the studio time isn't cheap, and your time isn't cheap, so it means the world when a band, especially the stature of Crippled Black Phoenix, helps me out with just a little project. First of all, my little podcast, but just this little project that I started a year and a half ago now at this point. So
yeah.
So thank you guys so much.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, and it's for great cause. So that's
well. I hope you guys can eventually make it over to the U.S. at some point, either with Johnny the Boy or Crippled Black Phoenix, because I'm dying to see Crippled Black Phoenix live or Johnny the Boy. I don't care. And I'm going to bring my camera. I'm going to shoot the hell out of the show, and I may even follow you around for a few days and shoot a few shows.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So, what is the best way for people to pick up the Johnny the Boy album, follow you guys for tour dates?
Well, it is. Where is it? I think it's on Sesame's Bandcamp. I think you just have to Google it and you can find it.
Yeah, from the label direct is always the best. But I mean, I'm sure it's available from record stores and distros and stuff.
Yeah, Sesame's in America.
So yeah, I mean, if you can find Crippled Black Phoenix stuff, you can find Johnny the Boy because it's the same label.
I only got one album.
Is there a unique social media presence for Johnny the Boy, or is it all under the Crippled Black Phoenix umbrella?
No. Johnny the Boy on Instagram, and we've got Johnny the Boy Facebook.
We're not the best social media, as you can tell, but you know, we're trying.
Me too.
Oldies are trying.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
If you Google Johnny the Boy Instagram, you'll think it's the first coming up, and same with Facebook.
But yeah, if you Google it, you're just going to get loads of pictures of Mad Max.
Right.
Yeah.
I did that.
Johnny the Boy.
Yeah. I noticed actually there's a Johnny the Boy the Band hashtag.
Oh, really?
On Facebook, and we didn't make that one up. Someone else did it. So somebody's hashtagged us it and put Johnny the Boy the Band.
Somebody likes you guys.
Yeah, some things. It's a weird one actually. It's been received weird. Well, not weird because of course we're proud of what we do, but probably better than what we thought. It feels wrong saying that because it sounds like you kind of doubted yourself, and we don't. But we just didn't know what to expect. I think we expected nothing, and everything is a bonus. So now we're getting the bonus, which is really nice.
That's kind of the way I approach everything too.
Yeah.
Are you focusing more on Johnny the Boy right now, or are you working on any Crippled Black Phoenix music?
At the moment,
yeah, right now.
It's Crippled Black Phoenix 20 years next year.
20 years, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So right now, I've recorded 4 new CBP songs. I've recorded 6 or 7. You know, can you remember the Horrific on Horrifics, the cover versions?
Oh yeah,
EP.
Belinda's on there.
So yeah, of course.
Sing old and broken heart. If you have something to say, you had to follow me here, so it's been shore to shore to shore. Sing your hymns and hunters' time, how ghost town waiting night.
And so we're doing a second one of that. So I've done another 6 or 7 cover versions.
Wow.
I think you'll be digging them, but they're good.
Oh,
So
wow.
are you a Built to Spill fan?
Yes.
Right, you're gonna love it.
I love the Swans cover you did on the last one.
Oh yes, of course, Swans.
Yeah, and
so done those, and then the crazy thing we're doing is and there's a Johnny the Boy song in there.
Oh, wait, you know what? Another song we have to tell them that we're doing, and you're gonna go, what? Laura Branigan.
what?
Yeah.
Self-control?
Yes.
Of course.
I'm doing a self-control. Yeah.
That's
fun.
Yeah.
I love that song. Oh my God, it's so dark.
I grew up on that song. My dad bought that album when it came out, and I listened to it constantly.
So we're doing that. Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear that.
I mean, it was already a dark pop song, but it took a turn for the darker. But yeah, that's 100% Belinda's idea. That was, she was just like, we're doing this song, and I mean, obviously I'd heard it back in the day, but and then took another listen to it, and it was like, oh yes, I really want to have a bite of this.
I just love the riff and everything.
I'm gonna have to freak my dad out and play him your version. He loved that out. He loved that. Well, guys, thank you all so much for all your time. Johnny the Boy, Crippled Black Phoenix. There's new music coming out. There's a lot to look forward to here from the two of you. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah. And I hope, I felt like a bit of a gooseberry because you wanted to speak to Belinda.
No, but it's good. I need a comfy blanket. I'm not too
are intertwined.
Yeah.
I can't separate you.
No.
I don't want to. So I'm just thrilled to have you on as well. So it's good to talk to you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.